Alright, I just got to my hotel here. It's actually pretty sweet. Randomly sweet, small hotel. Look at this. Some nice art. I don't even know what that is, but looks like some sort of a canvas with paint. I don't think it's real paint. I think I'm probably screen printed if I have to guess. But I'm going to get my second run of the day in the Superblast 2. I actually got 12 miles this morning back home in Charlotte. And now, so I'm actually in New York City right now. I'm in Chinatown. And I'm on a very quick, packed business trip. So I'm not going to be doing a ton of events or anything here. But getting some more miles in the Superblast 2. So this will be 20 miles today in the Superblast 2. This has become a solid daily for me. And I said this last week comparing it to the Mach X. Not a shoe that I love, but a shoe that gets the job done, especially, and this is the key, especially on the treadmill. So that was my run this morning. I woke up at 4:30 to hit the treadmill in Charlotte, and I'm going to do that again right now. It is 6:41. So we'll put 20 miles on this guy today, and then tomorrow, by the way, look at this. This is my shoe rotation for this trip. Can we brighten it up in here? What the heck? Sometimes hotel rooms don't have any lights. Is this a light? Oh gosh, I don't even know how to turn. Okay, that's a light. Yeah, this is my hotel or my travel shoe rotation. BONDI 9. This is what I'll use for some comfortable miles. Superblast 2 to compare to the Mach X2. So tomorrow morning I'll likely be getting miles in the Mach X2. Two of the most popular shoes of the past few years here. So I'm going to lace up the Superblast. What socks should we go with? Let's go with these red features. Lace up the Superblast and then hit the gym. Probably order some food as well because it's getting late and I have not had dinner. I also had lunch at, what time did I have lunch? 4 p.m. Man, I have complete travel brain right now. If you guys have ever traveled and then had to work in the same day, it's not that fun. It's not that fun. So we're getting through it. I'm trying to find some shorts. Imagine if I didn't bring any running shorts. That would be a travesty, huh? I think I did. I'll find them. Okay, all my running shorts were in here. I will go Tier. Why not? Shout out to Tier. Tier running shorts. Chicago Marathon shirt. And red features with the Superblast. Bada boom, bada bang. So over the past month or so, testing the Superblast 2, getting it up to 100 miles, it's definitely found a place in my rotation as that super max stack workhorse. Now, yesterday, I ran 25 miles in the Saucony Ride 18. So I did a 17-miler in the morning and an 8-miler in the afternoon. And by the end of that, I felt that it just wasn't giving me that juice. And I said, this is a true workhorse. This is a shoe that's going to make you do the work. The difference is the Superblast, while it makes you do the work still, it gives you more back. It's not as bouncy and exciting as the Mach X and the Skyward X. But compared to a standard shoe, like the Ride 18, for me at least, it gives me a lot more juice when my legs are feeling like they need it. It makes it easier to hit some paces. So for a day like today, where I'm doing 2 treadmill runs, this still feels normal on the treadmill, but it's going to give me more bounce than if I were to go with something like the Supernova Rise. So that's where this has found a place in my rotation, that Super Max Stack workhorse. I love stack. I love cushion. I love running in the latest and greatest. And there's nothing weird about this shoe on the treadmill. It's also been solid for stroller run. So that's where I've enjoyed it. Now, if I'm looking for something fun, I'd be going to the Mach X2 or the Skyward X or the Mach X. But for just getting it done, this has been, dare I say, great for me. A really reliable workhorse, and I'm starting to understand why people like this shoe so much. It's not that the ride is amazing, it's just solid and you can count on it. And for a trip where I'm going to be doing another run at 6:55, I know that this shoe isn't going to be weird. There's going to be no weirdness and it's not going to mess me up. So with that, let me go down. I'm tired. I'm blasted right now. I kind of want to pop a caffeine, but I'm not going to do that because that's going to mess my sleep up. So instead, let me see. So I brought a whole bag of tricks here. This was the fuel haul that I showed the other day. Let's see. Bada boom. Oh no, these have caffeine. This is what we need. Is this what we need? Yes. Margarita flavored. It's funny that they do an alcohol flavored Cliff Gel, but I'm going to take a few of these, just get some quick sugars. I'm trying to make sure I stay on top of my fueling on this trip. That's my number one issue with traveling. So I'm going to pop, let's see, maybe 3 of these. That was 1. Oh, these are fire. Dude, these are straight flames. They're super good. They're salty too. It's like the salted rim on the margarita. Yeah. I'm top 3 more of these and do my run. See you guys in a bit. Oh, it's like candy. What's that saying? Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. I didn't get punched in the mouth. And I didn't really have a plan either, so I don't know why I was saying that. It's not entirely relevant to right now at all. But my phone did die at mile 4? That's essentially the equivalent of getting punched in the mouth. Trying to grind out a 20-mile double day on the treadmill and your phone dying for the last 30 minutes. But it was kind of nice, honestly, to not run with music. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, 8 miles. I just recalibrated it. 7:30 pace. I just set that thing, set it and forget it. And that's basically what the Superblast is good for, just locking into a daily pace. Somebody on the Supple app was saying they felt the treadmill made them 30 seconds per mile slower. I'm not sure the exact seconds per mile slower, but I feel that. Sometimes paces on the treadmill feel harder. Even if the heart rate is equivalent or lower, my heart rate's usually lower on the treadmill. The mental effort, the physical effort is the same or lower, but it's the mental grind, the mental fatigue. That's tough, but we got it done. That was one of the type of runs where, man, the last 3 miles I was just thinking, why do I do this? Why do I do this to myself? But the thing is, what the heck else am I going to do other than grind out some mileage here at the hotel? I'm not going to go hit the town and go clubbing. I'm not going to go to Tao or PhD. I'm not going to go get some bottle service. But yeah, man, every time over the past few months, since I've gotten this thing, every time I feel I'm getting some momentum with it, it just lets me down. That was not a smooth run. That was not an easy run, and I wasn't getting that super max stack bounce that I expected from this shoe. And I've done one other 20 mile day in it and a 20 mile long run, and it seems every time I do a double with this shoe on that second run, it just doesn't give me what I'm looking for, and I keep thinking it's going to, and then it doesn't. So I think I've given the shoe way too much airtime on the channel recently. I need to give it a rest. Maybe I'll get it up to 200 miles at some point, but this has not softened up at all for me. It's a sturdy, complete, gosh dang tank. But yeah, I'm excited to get some miles tomorrow morning in this thing because this is a really fun shoe for me. And this has always been a fun shoe. It's nice to switch it up. I also want to get some more miles in the Skyward X. But man, on those runs where we're just thinking, why are we doing this? It's so important to have something in mind, a goal. And I think that's why I'm struggling right now too. I don't have any goal race on the calendar, and I don't want a goal race because, man, last year was a lot. I graduated from business school. We had our 3rd kid. It was just a lot of stuff. The stress of building the channel and the business. So I'm purposefully taking a break right now, but it's almost counterintuitive. I feel like sometimes having more stuff makes it easier, and having a goal makes it easier with the running. So I need some sort of running goal that's going to add structure, more structure, and more direct. I still have the structure of my training. I'm still doing workouts, but I want more of a directed goal, but not something super stressful. Chicago Marathon was stressful. I really wanted to get sub 240, and the entire reason I did Coast Guard in the spring was to build up to that sub 240. So I need to figure out something else that's not going to be super stressful that will just get me training. But yeah, Superblast 2, to me, this is still a firm daily trainer. Same thing I said last week in the Mach X video. Picked up the pace a few times in that run, and it just was not doing it for me. So on to the next one. We'll hit some miles in the Mach X2 tomorrow, and hopefully I get some more out of this. Refuel time. Man, anytime we finish the 20-mile day feeling good, I don't know, say I'm feeling good. I'm feeling moderate right now, but anytime we finish it not feeling terrible, that's a win. So I had to hit some DoorDash. This is Dash Mart. I've never heard of Dash Mart. I think it's their version of Walgreens, but this is going to be the key to these morning treadmill runs this week. You could probably guess what it is. A little bit of bada boom, bada bang action. Oh, there's a bag inside a bag. Now that's what I'm talking about right there. We are locked and loaded, ready to go. So I'm not a huge cold brew drinker. In the winter or summer, I'll have it in the afternoons, but doing treadmill runs without any sort of caffeine sounds terrible. And if I didn't bring a full pour over kit with a kettle to this random hotel, and they're not going to have coffee when I need it at 5:30 a.m. So this is what I have here. So this is what I'll hit in the morning. And then the true refuel, the dinner. Warning here, this is not what people might consider health food, but this is what is going to refuel me. And this is what I felt like eating tonight. So look at this. Bada boom, bada bang. We got the oat milk cookies and cream shake. That seems like it's going to be fire. We got the do better, live better, eat better, be better. So they're saying it's better. Shout out to Gerald's Better Burger. And they're calling it better because it's vegan. And this is the thing about eating vegan. I've said this before. You can eat well on any diet. You can eat poorly on any diet. This, of course, isn't as good as a quinoa bowl that we might be eating in Supwell Kitchen. But guess what? I want something fire flames, high calorie. I just want something that tastes good. So let me open this thing up. This actually looks pretty fire. And here's the thing about traveling while vegan. I mean, look at this. This is the hotel room service menu. Even the avocado toast has feta cheese on it. So it's not easy to find vegan stuff. That's why I get excited when I see things like this. So this is the double Impossible Burger. This thing looks absolutely insane. Can we get a one bite? Everybody knows the rules. I started liking Beyond more than Impossible recently, but man, that's one of the best vegan burgers I have had. So I'm going to hit this refuel. 20-mile day in the books. Of course, we got the fries too. And then I'm going to get my performance sleep. Wake up bright and early. And get some more miles in. Mileage, baby. Calories and mileage. That's the key to a happy life. Man, this is so good. No, I'm not sick. Oh my gosh, the little door here at the fridge was open. I thought someone was knocking, which did not happen because I'm on the 16th floor. But I'm not saying you should eat fries, a burger, and a milkshake, or even be vegan. But for me, I've said this so many times, and it's probably the second most important thing, other than consistent mileage. Classic. I had the microphone pointed the wrong way. But being underfueled is the enemy of performance. Not having enough carbs and calories is the enemy. Now, that's not saying eat a bunch of fries and milkshakes, but making sure you have enough calories, especially when traveling. It is so hard to get the right calories. So whatever you need to do to get it done, because that's 20 miles today. I'm going to wake up early and go back for probably 12 more miles in the morning. Maybe I'll do a workout if I'm up for it. So whatever you need to do, especially while traveling, to make sure you have enough calories, do it. And that's why I brought this whole entire big fat sack of Hobby Jogger carbs. I don't even know what the heck is in here. Just pull out a handful of stuff. So I'm gonna be fueling up. This is hobby jogger diet this week. This is like, like frat boy college diet when you're just eating ramen and Gatorade or whatever. I'm just gonna be slamming DoorDash. I had 2 burritos that Charlie made this morning. I had another burrito that I got from the airport, but I wasn't able to eat lunch until 4. So I had 2 scratch bars in the plane. My diet today's just been crazy. Yeah, I had a handful of granola before I went to the gym in Mint Hill at 4:30. Then after the gym at about 8, I had 2 burritos, one driving to the airport. And then I had 2 scratch bars sitting on the plane, and our plane got delayed by an hour sitting on the tarmac. That was at 10. And then I didn't eat again until 4 p.m. or 3 p.m. It was 3 to 4 when I had my lunch because I was in a 2-hour meeting with all the directors at my company from 1 to 3. So we just got to do what we got to do. We're hitting this refuel hard, and this means I'm going to be good to go for the run tomorrow. And it's so good. DoorDash, things like DoorDash when we're traveling are just so clutch for me because most cities now will have options on DoorDash for me, which is nice. Otherwise, I mean, this hotel doesn't even have a restaurant. They have, what would I have to eat on here if this was the only option? I'd probably have to order fries and I don't even know. I guess avocado toast. This is the breakfast menu. I don't know. There's sometimes not great options, but we got good calories here. I'm gonna be ready to go tomorrow morning. And caffeine. Bang. Last thing I'll say, sometimes I question what I should show and shouldn't show, whether it's setting a good example. And again, I'm not saying everybody should eat this way, but sometimes you just have to do what makes you happy. Within reason. You shouldn't inject heroin into your veins because that makes you happy temporarily. But if you want to have a burger, have a burger. And it's what I do occasionally. And it's like the training by feel thing too, right? When you want a burger, eat a burger. When you want to run hard, run hard. Be happy. All right, that's actually the last thing I'll say. I'll see you in the morning. Man, traveling is like marathon training. Something is bound to go wrong. It's like running the race, really. So I left my charger at the office, so I have no computer charger. And then the phone charger that I brought, for some reason, it's just not vibing with my iPhone. This is the one that I use in the car. It's some aftermarket. Big not shout out to Solar Ray. Don't buy any Solar Ray aftermarket iPhone chargers because they won't work that well. Also, it's probably because my phone is janky and 3 years old, but that means I'm gonna have no alarm on my phone. That's mainly what I use my phone for, and probably no music on the treadmill. So I'm just gonna have to hit this RD, just a workout with no music. It's gonna be kind of tough, but we'll just use it as a mental toughness, fatigue, resistance workout. I also didn't bring my charger for my Coros. These are the things, right? It's all bound to go wrong, but here's the thing. 91% battery on the Coros. So this is going to hold it down, hopefully till Friday. I think this will be able to last till Friday. Man, if this were an Apple Watch and this were on 91% right now, oh my goodness, we'd be out by the morning. So I set my alarm on this. Look at this. I set, gosh dang, 5 alarms, 4:55, and then we have 5:35, 5:55. I just don't trust this, so I set a bunch. I bet I could also set an alarm on this, old school style. Yeah, I can. Oh, look at that. All right, so I'm going to do this, set an alarm here, bang. The thing is, it's just so loud. Man, I don't even know how to use these things anymore. I'm pressing the alarm button, nothing's happening. Now I'm just pressing random buttons. So the alarm is on. Yeah, the alarm is, so it says 1 alarm. Alarm's on, but it's not telling me what time it's set for. That's reckless. That is super reckless. Oh, set. There's a set button. Oh, 4:40 a.m. That's pretty much perfect. It's not letting me change it though. Wouldn't it be the plus? Okay. Millennial tries to operate alarm clock. ASMR video. I might cut this and put it on TikTok. Yeah, bro, this is just not going. Imagine if I were Gen Z though. It would be even worse. Okay, on, set, 440. Does that mean I'm just going to have to wake up at 440? Here's the thing. I'm holding down the buttons. I don't know what else I could do differently or better. I'm legit holding down the buttons. This is the thing. Have you ever realized how reliant we are on our iPhones? It is crazy. Talking about not injecting heroin into your veins. iPhones are basically heroin. We're addicted to them and we cannot live without them. I mean, just look at me. This is disrespectful. I think I'm just going to turn this on. 4:40, and that's just when we have to wake up. That's 7 hours. I'll see you gosh dang then. Gosh. Nope, we're going to get 20 more minutes of sleep because I figured it out. Okay, you go to set, and then it's not intuitive, but then you press date. Now look at that. Now the 4 is flashing. So I can go up one, bang, 5:40, press date again. That's going to give it the numbers. And then I can just hold the minus sucker down. Boom, boom, bang. Look at that. Would you look at that? Us operating a hotel alarm clock? It couldn't be. It couldn't be. 5 a.m. All right. That's not bad. So we're going to probably get 7 hours. That means I have 21 minutes to fall asleep. All right. Ready, set, go. 6 a.m. Still dark out there. City's coming awake. I'm trying to get awake here. I decided to get an extra hour of sleep. I'm just feeling this travel, man. But this is what I'm going to wear this morning. Quick breakfast time. I'm going to grab some of this cold brew. By the way, I can feel myself just in this tired travel state. I might keep it light this morning because I'm definitely not feeling 100% right now, which is why I let myself sleep an extra hour. And people at my office yesterday were coughing and sneezing. So that's never a good sign. But you know what? If we get sick, we get sick. We'll just deal with it. But yeah, this is what I'm going to eat this morning. Scratch energy bar for the pre-run. Have some of this, put my clothes on, and then bang out this run. But that's why I let myself get an extra hour to sleep this morning. I just was not feeling waking up at 5. Man, this cold brew, it legit tastes like water. Not fire, but it will get the job done. Man, this was one of those mornings where I kept waking up, and I think I was waking up all night. My resting HRV was horrible, but I kept waking up and just wondering how much longer I could sleep. And here's the thing. I mean, the kids aren't here. Charlie's not here. I don't have to be into the office till 9:30, but I mean, theoretically, I could have just slept in until 8:30, right? And then just walked over there or taken a cab over there. But if I don't get my run in this morning, I know the rest of my day is just going to be off and I'm not going to feel good. So do I want to feel terrible right now? Not terrible. I don't feel terrible. But do I want to put myself through the mental struggle of snooze battling? Or do I want to skip my run and then feel like a boiled potato all day? All right, let's get these shoes on. Oh, by the way, my travel shoe. Let's get some better lighting on this. This is my travel shoe. the New Balance Fresh Foam. What are these things called? More Trail V3. Looks so good, man. And it has these just in case it snows. I don't think it's going to snow here, and it's not really for function. I just love the way these things look, and they are so comfortable. The rocker is insane. This is one of the best rockers I've ever felt. The fit is great, and this foam is just so comfortable. It's not super soft, but you squish in just the right amount with that roll. Very comfortable shoe, and of course this colorway is just straight flame. So this is my travel shoe. And let's lace these things up though. This is what I'm going to be running in this morning. I'm going to say 3 positive things. Yeah, positive thing number 1, my bed. The bed here at the hotel was so comfortable. Well, I don't know if that's a positive because it just makes me want to get back in it. But yeah, that's a positive for sure. Comfortable bed. I get to lace up one of my favorite shoes, Mach X2. Complete banger. By the way, someone was just selling these on the Supwell app because they said they don't fit their foot right. They're snug. They're definitely snug. The toe box is shallow. It's not a roomy, wide fit. It's a performance fit. It usually doesn't bother me once I get running, but lacing it up here, it's not like lacing up that New Balance More Trail, which is also a 10.5, and I get in that, and I'm like, wow, this is a cozy cavern. No, this is not a cavern. This is more of a cabin. Positive number 3, we get to run today. That's always a positive, right? I am going to have to run on the treadmill for at least 10 miles if I can make it without music, though. So. And so the rubbing thing on this upper never affected me, but it is not a perfect upper. So I do think the changes they're making in the Mach X3 are going to be nice. Just making it more comfortable. They're basically putting the upper of the Clifton on this. As you can see here, it was a bit of a fight to get my foot inside it. Alright, we are locked and loaded. I'm going to drink the rest of my coffee, and then we can just hit this. No music, no phone, just straight treadmill grind. Scratch bar review. It's aight. I think my favorite was the chocolate peanut butter. This one's solid. It definitely tastes like a healthy granola bar, if you know what I mean. You can taste all those seeds and those nuts in there. But it's 200 something calories, which is solid for just pre-run. Yeah, 260 calories. This is enough to just get up and go. And then shoes. Man, the step and feel of these is so good. Much better than the Superblast. And I can really feel that front layer of PIBA on step-in squishing right under my forefoot. It's super nice. I can feel how much bounce these are gonna give. Way softer underfoot than the Superblast 2. Superblast 2 is just firm. Alright, time to go. Honestly, I would take my laptop and Bluetooth, connect my headphones to these, and just play music from it, but my laptop is also dead because I left my Mac charger at the office. And then I have my work laptop, but that's another alarm I set. Yeah, I don't want to use the work laptop for the music. That's just sketch. Also, I don't think I'm logged into my Apple ID in there for everything I need. So we're just going to hit this old school style. No music. No music. No music. No music. All right. Let's get out of here. See you when I see you. All right, bang. We are finished. I did get 12 miles. Let me recalibrate this thing. But man, I was just maxed out at 7:30 pace. I didn't feel like going much faster than that. And that's how I felt last night too. It's just A lot of mileage. That's what, 32 miles on the treadmill in the last 24 hours and 20 miles on the treadmill in the last 12 hours. So a lot of mileage, but we got it done. Did not do a workout. Needless to say, yeah, average pace was, what does this thing say, 740. Took me a while to get warmed up there. It took me 4 miles. I did the first mile at basically a 9-minute pace. I think that's also why the treadmill can feel harder. If you're going straight on the treadmill without warming up, something about it is just awkward and it takes a while to get into it, versus running outside is more natural, for me at least, and I can warm up into it more naturally. But 20 miles down in the Superblast and the Mach X2, this is where the battle for calories, not battery, starts. And look at this. We actually have a pretty decent view from Chinatown. I would say this is more than decent. This is a bada boom, bada banger view. So that's Midtown over there. What street is this? I don't know, bro. I don't know New York anymore. We got a good view down that way. Yeah, I mean, that's the money shot right there, though. I can already hear Jadakiss's voice just, ha ha! That cold American flag just waving in the wind. Bro, I should have brought my Timbs on this trip. What was I thinking with the Superblast? 20-mile double day in the Timbs in New York City. What's more New York than a flock of pigeons flying past a Mickey D's? Anyway, let's do this final comparison here. So I have a lot more miles on these two than just this treadmill test today. So I now have about, I think, 150 or 140 miles on the Superblast 2 and probably about 70 to 80 on the Mach X2. Maybe a little lower than that, maybe 60 to 70 on the Mach X2, but a good number of miles on both. You can see we have some nice break-in lines on this foam here. This is a standard EVA, so it will soften up and break in. So standard EVA on the bottom for support and stability, and yeah, it's nice and soft now, especially after about 90 minutes of use. That was a 90-minute run. And then top layer here is the PIBA, the polyether block amide race foam with the plastic plate. And then Superblast, you already know, FF Turbo Plus on the top layer. This is the Asics race foam with a bottom layer. It's interesting that they do it this way. They do a firm race foam on the top and then a comfortable training foam on the bottom. In terms of, let's go down all the categories. Let's go looks first. I always forget to say this with the Superblast, but I actually think the Superblast is one of the best looking shoes out there. When I bought this shoe, I was still in more of my neon phase. I think I'm edging out of my neon phase into more of that refined creams, grays, navies, even blacks, all white. That Saucony with the white and the gum sole was beautiful. In this colorway, this is bright. It's bright. It's eye catching. But I think that somebody asked me what my favorite running shoe for looks was, and I think the Superblast in that white gray is the best looking shoe on the market right now. If that were a more comfortable shoe, if they made a version of the Superblast called the Superblast and made it a max cushion casual shoe, if they made the Superblast as comfortable as the Nimbus, man, that white gray would be a banger. I would buy that and rock it every single day. But looks, 100% Superblast takes it. This does look like a shoe you can wear around town, especially in some of those other more refined colorways like the black and the white gray I just mentioned. This one just looks like a performance running shoe. I have seen people walking around in this, but not my favorite. It doesn't look bad, but it's not something that I'm gonna wear around town, especially because of the plate, and the upper is way snugger on this, way more of a performance fit. So upper comparison, Superblast takes it for upper comfort 100%. Nice and padded upper around the back. Again, I don't have any issues with rubbing on the Mach X2. I didn't have any rubbing on the treadmill today. I wore the padded socks, but even without that, this upper is just not the best. I can feel that it's not completely latched down in the back, and it's super snug up on the top of my foot. Asics, on the other hand, nice and roomy. All the Asics shoes, they just fit my foot really well. The No Blast 5, this, Nimbus. Nimbus has a little a little much room in my standard size. I wouldn't go half a size down, but the Asics shoes, it's like they tuned it straight for the dead center of the market so that they're going to fit a lot of people well. Mach X2 is definitely snug. I don't think they offer this in a wide width. You'll have to check on that. Now, ride experience. Let's just get into it. Ride experience. So Superblast has this firm, crunchy, and mechanical character that I've still never gotten past. Mach X2 is smoother. It doesn't feel as blocky to me. It doesn't feel as choppy, but it's also not a super soft shoe. Neither of these are soft comfort, and neither of these are even soft speed. Now, if you were looking for a soft, fun shoe, Mizuno Neo Zen would be my #1 pick right now. And Asics Nova Blast 5 is also softer than either of these for daily miles. And then if we're looking at soft plated speed, I'll have to think. There's not a lot of good soft plated speed options. Adidas Evo SL is solid. That feels softer than either of these. I'll have to do another comparison to the Mach X2, but Mach X2 is definitely softer underfoot than the Superblast. It compresses more, but neither of these feel soft. Right amount of bounce in these. Now, for relaxed miles, both of these are actually solid, and they're more similar than I expected them to be, and that's why I run these shoes back to back when I do these comparison tests, or at least I try to most of the time, unless I've gotten a bunch of miles in both of the shoes recently, which I have not in the Mach X2. Last time I ran the Mach X2 was probably a few weeks ago at least, and their performance was really similar. They felt similar at a 7:30 pace. My effort felt similar at that 7:30 pace. That's my standard everyday pace. They both felt solid. So it's not that the Mach X2 is so much more aggressive or the Superblast is so much more hung back. Again, like the Mag Max versus Superblast comparison, if you are evaluating these as daily trainers, it's really going to come down to feel. Do you want something that feels more substantial, more stable? The Superblast is definitely a more stable shoe. It's not that the Mach X2 is unstable, but I just don't think about it at all. My foot is so secure inside the Superblast. Again, it feels like that truck body on frame Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. That's not the same with the Hoka Mach X2 here. It does feel like more of a fun, peppy speed shoe, not as robust as the Superblast here. So if you want more stability, if you're evaluating a shoe and you'd rather have stability than fun, that's where I would go for the Superblast over the Mach X2 for everyday miles. Now, if you want fun over stability, fun and bounce, for me, that's where the Mach X2 takes it. The Mach X2 is also designed to be a speed shoe, so that's where it shines. Now, over the life of the shoe, Mach X2, I've done multiple workouts. Today I did not. I was planning on it and debating, and then I decided let's just do it tomorrow because I'm not feeling like my legs actually just didn't feel like I had any juice this morning, so I just hung out at that 7:30 pace. But when I have done workouts on the treadmill, I did one workout 8 miles at a 5:30 pace, and this thing blew me away with how well it handled that. It was just as good as any other race shoe for holding that 5:30 pace, as any race shoe. Not any other race shoe, because this is not a race shoe. It's just as good as a race shoe, and it's a speed shoe. So this top layer of race foam is really special here. This is a nice PIBA. It reminds me of Saucony Endorphin Speed 3 or Adidas Boston 12 with how peppy it gets. It's great for running fast. But of course, stability in the Superblast is going to be where it takes it. So that's how I would choose. And then durability, let's take a look here. The Superblast, I have a feeling Superblast is going to take it. Look at this. We have half the miles on the Mach X2 as the Superblast, and the Superblast outsole is in better shape. And I've actually seen some people wear down this Mach X2 outsole. There's our guy Ryan on the Supwell app. He posted his outsole at 50 miles, and it was, I think he had worn all the way down to the yellow. So depending on your wear pattern, depending if you're more of a heel striker, flat-footed runner like I am, or more of a forefoot striker, it's going to depend. But we do know that this Asics rubber and this Asics shoe is a complete tank. These things last forever. People get them up to 400, 500 miles, 600 miles, and they keep going. That's one of the benefits of having such a firm platform. So most people who are spending $200 on a running shoe have a rotation. That's just the reality. There are very few people who buy the Superblast and this is their one shoe. However, if you do want to get the most bang for your buck, that's where this shines. I would be okay with running in this all the time as my one shoe if I had to. It wouldn't be my first choice, and again, it's not the best at any one thing, but if you really are evaluating shoe for durability and you want it to last a long time, that's where this shines. That's probably the best quality of it, and it's crazy, man. 140, 150 miles, it still feels like I haven't broken this in fully. So I don't know how many miles you need to put on this thing for it to come alive, but someone was joking about it, Stockholm syndrome, if you have to put 200 miles on a shoe before it feels good. The most number of miles I've ever put on a shoe before it fully broke in was the Adidas Boston 12. I think that took me 50 to 60. This has not changed much, and I keep thinking that it has. Maybe just because it looks so good, I want to keep coming back to it. But like I said last night, I'm going to give this a rest. I'm not going to do any more runs or comparison tests in it for a few weeks. Maybe I'll get it up to 200 miles and do another update. But it's a solid daily trainer, firmer feel. That's going to be good if you want something nice and supportive with some balance for those everyday miles. And Mach X2, this is the speed option. And if you are a type of runner who has a rotation, I could see a place for both of these. So Superblast 2, more for every day, with those days where you want support, those days where you want a little extra pep in your everyday miles, but not for true workouts. And then the Mach X2, true workout shoe. For long run performance, I highly prefer the Mach X2. This is so much better for me for long run performance. The Superblast, and this is what I felt last night on that second run, the foam just felt flat in the forefoot, which was surprising, right? You don't expect the Superblast to be bottoming out, which it wasn't bottoming out, but it just didn't have as much liveliness as I would have expected. And I've never had that in the Hoka Mach X2, and that is the benefit of having the plate. It adds some more structure to the shoe and a little more snap to it, and it reinforces that rocker, so you're not going to get that mushy feeling that you might even in a shoe like the Superblast, right? It's crazy to think that this thing could get mushy, but if you're putting 20 plus miles in a shoe in one day, then it's possible. So 2 solid shoes. Mach X2 is my personal favorite. If I had to pick one of these shoes only for do it all, it's tough, right? Because the Mach X2, I like the feel of this, but it definitely leans more performance. Superblast has more of that stability where I can hang back. But I'm going Mach X2. I prefer this, even with the slightly worse upper. That is the thing. You put this on and it just feels like a speed shoe. That's the tough thing. So lacing up the Superblast is definitely nicer, and it's a more comfortable overall shoe in the upper. The step-in feel of the Mach X2 is better. This is more of the daily trainer, though. So I think I still have to go with the Superblast 2 as the daily trainer. Mach X2 for me is a speed shoe. It's like I said with the Evo SL, right? These shoes can do it all, and the Mach X2 is a highly versatile shoe, but versus the Superblast to me feels more of like that normal daily trainer. That's the same thing I said with the Mach Max. The Mach Max feels more special. So I think that's why people like the Superblast 2 so much as well. It just has more of that normal standard feel with the higher stack. So there you go. We got to get rolling here, get over to the office. Thank you guys for watching. This is where the battle for the calories begins. I'm gonna try to get on it. Then we can get out of here. This is the sad boy breakfast, bro. Scratch energy bar with the Tailwind recovery mix. I realized I should have ordered something, but it is now 8:30, so I have to make it over to the office. Ugh. Also didn't bring a blender bottle, so just making a crazy concoction right here, just straight up in the cup. I think I have to do the water in this glass. The thing is, these glasses are, oh no, I was gonna say they're deceivingly big. They're not. So this is like mixing up, I don't even know. This feels wrong. Oh man, I just found this in my bag from the hotel. That's an L, bro. That's an L. Oh. Should I mix this with my finger? I don't know. What would happen if I just straight up tried to eat it? I guess that's like the cinnamon challenge. You remember that cinnamon challenge? Here's one thing I wanted to say though. I'm putting on my work clothes here. It's not always fun to... Charlie got me this for Christmas, by the way, fire. It's not always fun to do a bunch of zone 2, relax miles, whatever you want to call it. But this is my boss messaging me. I'm going to go get coffee with her in a sec, but... Yeah, it's not fun to do a bunch of relaxed miles all the time, but the thing is, you can't delete an injury. You can always run harder tomorrow. But if you run too hard today, if you run too hard today, the worst thing that's going to happen is you blow up and get an injury. If you run too easy today, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're bored and you just have to grind it out, which isn't the worst thing. So be smart about when you choose to go hard and when you choose to pull back. But I have to go meet her for coffee. One sip, everybody knows rules. Oh, that's not good. I'm trying to mix it in my mouth. Alright, this is a mess. I have to go to coffee. I'll see you guys later. Alright, I just finished another run. I guess this is a one more thing here. It's now Wednesday night, about 7 p.m. So that's 24 miles in about 24 hours across 3 different shoes. I'm in the BONDI 9 right now. So that was 4-mile run, average 7:05 pace. I think I did the first mile at 7:30, and then I ramped it down to 6:50 for the last few miles there. But man, BONDI 9, I'm glad I finished out this day in these, because this is a complete banger. Every time I come back to this shoe, it's awesome. This reminds me about everything I loved of the Saucony Endorphin Shift 3, which was a very firm shoe that not a lot of people liked, but comfortable, supportive, and once you get it going, it can really cruise. I was hanging at 650 pace, and I felt effortless in these things. I checked my heart rate, and it was down in the 130s for most of that. And on the treadmill, this thing, my average heart rate for this run was 136. On the treadmill, it typically does clock the heart rate correctly when you have it cranked down tight like this. So low effort run, smooth, comfortable, bouncy. And by the way, these are actually for sale now. I think they went up on Running Warehouse today, January 15th. So if you want a firm, comfortable daily trainer, not firm, but comfortable on the firmer end of soft in the Goldilocks zone, I would suggest these. I'm going to put them with the rest of my rotation. This is the travel rotation here. I'll probably run in these Friday. But look at this max cushion gang. BONDI 9, Superblast, Mach X2, and then the More Trail V3, which, by the way, complete banger for walking around New York City. I had to do a unplanned tempo in them this morning to make it to the coffee shop in time to meet my boss. But 24 miles in 24 hours across 4 fun shoes, all great in their own respect. Superblast is getting some more respect for me, but also disrespect still. It's just okay. It's just okay. But BONDI, complete banger. I'll see you guys tomorrow.